for the member to apply skills for coaching a fellow member or a person outside of Toastmasters who can benefit from his or her experience. The purpose for this speech is for the member to share some aspects of his experience coaching. Mr. Toastmaster. Speech time is 5 to 7 minutes.
Yes, thank you, Randy. And the title is How You Ever Gonna Know? How You Ever Gonna Know? Michael Hubler, 5 to 7 minutes. Michael.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guests. The great Garth Brooks wrote a song in 1997, or actually it was released in 1997, entitled How You Ever Gonna Know? It's one of his lesser known songs, but it has hit hard this week to me. One of the lines, and that old star that you've been wishing on is shining mighty bright, but it's the fire inside your heart that's going to lead you to the light. In 1982, I was 5 years old, and I had an experience that I did something I wasn't supposed to do. Someone told my parents. My parents came to me. My dad told me I was a horrible kid. I had completely disrespected the family at 5 years old. And for 41 years, I have hidden that I thought I was a bad person. I finally overcame that this year. What's it like to live there? How you ever gonna know? Is another line. What's it like to live there as a 5-year-old? Fast forward to a teenager. I saw my dad slap my sister in the face and throw my mom across the room. The anger from my dad has been huge in my life. I didn't want to see him ever again. I was done. How you ever gonna know if you never take a chance? 1 week ago, God told me, go see your mom. I said, no way. My dad's there. The next day, go see your mom. Nope. Nope, not gonna happen. He said one more time, Michael, go see your mom. You know how the phrase, if you get hit, you have to get hit with a 2x4? I felt like the witch in the Wizard of Oz, a house dropped on me. God's like, go do this. So I texted my mom and I said, can I come see you? She said, yes, we would love for you to come see us. And I took my 2 oldest children. They had not seen my parents in 4 years. We cut them out of our lives 4 years ago. If you focus on identifying and healing your own trauma, you can become a transitional character. Dr. Carl Fred Broderick said, transitional characters is a person who in a single generation changes the entire course of a lineage. That person can metabolize the poison and refuse to pass it on to their children. God has called me to be that person for my children. It's been the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Saturday, pulled up to my parents' house. And we walked in, and I had all kinds of doubts. I had no idea why I was there. Garth Brooks tells us, listen not to the critics who put their own dreams on the shelf. How you ever gonna know what you believe in if you don't put it to the test? God told me to go, so I went. I sat down in the corner of the couch, arms folded, kind of watching to see what was happening. And I watched my kids interact with my parents. And I stopped and I looked at my dad and I said, "Dad, you know you abused us, right?" I said, "I'm stating facts, I'm not making accusations." And I said, "Well, you looked me in the eye, Dad." He looked me in the eye and I said, "I love you." We both started to cry. He said, "I love you too, son." He said, "I did abuse you. My dad abused me." That's normally where I'm like, I don't care. It doesn't matter. It stops. Someone has to stop it. Instead, I said, "I'm so sorry that happened to you, Dad." When I called my parents before I went, God showed me his love for them. A miracle happened. And I told that to my dad. My dad started bawling. And I asked my dad, I said, "What would have happened if someone had come to you and come to Grandpa and said, 'Hey, it stops now. This is where it ends'?" And my dad thought. He said, "I probably would not have abused you kids. I was sick. I needed help. Nobody gave me that help." And my dad got up and walked into the kitchen. And I walked in after him, and he walked up to me. He said, "Michael, I'm so sorry." He said, "I love you," and gave me a big hug. I asked my kids on the way home, we stopped and had lunch, and I said, what is one word that describes what happened today?" My daughter said, "Life-changing." My son said, "That's 2 words." I was like, my son said, "Atonement."
Oh, wow.
And I said, "Transformational." I share the story with my dad's permission. He gave me permission to share the story. Because he wants someone else to not have to have the same story that he had and that I have. Become that transitional character, metabolize the poison, and refuse to pass it on to your children no matter what it may be. How you ever gonna know if you never take a chance? Mr. Toastmaster.